And so my first drunk was at 8 years old that I remember. And it was like I found heaven and I found hell, and I could never balance it out ever again. And so I got really, really drunk one more time, and I woke up on the floor and I had the razor blade beside me, and I knew I was thinking about killing myself the day before, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. My name is Greg Wooley. Hear my story. So me growing up, I grew up in rural Pennsylvania. We started out in the city, and there were a lot of kids. I started smoking cigarettes like way younger than a kid ought to be smoking cigarettes. I know when we moved from the city to the country, I was already smoking cigarettes underneath the bridge with an older brother and some other kids. And I started down a path of secrets and hiding stuff from a very early age. I was like the kleptomaniac. If you didn't nail it down, I would steal it. I was beat up a lot. I was forced to do a lot of situations, a lot of uncomfortable sexual stuff that I was brought into way too young. And so my first drunk was at 8 years old that I remember. And it was like I found heaven and I found hell, and I could never balance it out ever again. So as I progressed, I chased that feeling, all through my pre-adolescence into high school. By the time I was in junior high, I was a kid who sold you joints, and the kid who knew where all the parties were. And I hated myself for it. I hated that I stole from my parents. I hated that I had no moral code, with me anymore, and it just spiraled me more and more. I was a blackout drinker from probably before 13. I had my first blackout. Stole a car whenever I was 15 and did that in a blackout. The only thing I remember was fighting with the cops whenever I got done, got mace sprayed in my eyes. And I would it would always start out nice. I never intended to steal the car. I never intended to do all the crazy things that I did. But after I got started, it took me to places I didn't intend to go. So I had so much buildup of self-hatred. By the time of my senior year, I had a pretty much nervous breakdown, psychosis, and I ended up in the county crisis unit, suicidal, and they diagnosed me as bipolar and schizophrenic and a bunch of other different things, and so I ended up spending the last 6 months of my senior year of high school in a crisis unit, and they shipped me off to a state mental institution. And so going through that experience, they never got close enough to me to say, are you hurt? Is there something inside of you that no one, and I don't know that they could have or would have or should have or how that would have worked, but no one ever came close enough to me to say, what's the matter on the inside? We always only dealt with the consequences. They said, okay, you're going crazy, take these pills. Okay, you're being bad, go away. Okay, you're doing this, we're gonna punish you, spank you, send you to the county jail, this, that, the other thing. And no one ever said, are you dying inside? And that's where I was dying inside. And at the end, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to live, and I didn't want to die, and I just didn't know where to be. And so I was quite suicidal at the end. Rock bottom was I drank all my friends up. I was not safe to drink around or be around once I picked up the first so I would drink in a room like this, kind of by myself at the end. And I had already been court ordered to do a bunch of recovery meetings, and I met some people there that I really wanted what they had. And so I got really, really drunk one more time, and I woke up on the floor, and I had the razor blade beside me, and I knew I was thinking about killing myself the day before, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I had already been trying to get sober off and on for a year before that, and I went into the recovery rooms, and I asked somebody to be my sponsor, and that was the turning point. In the beginning, I only prayed because somebody told me that if you want to stay sober, you have to do something different, and that was the beginning of it. And it wasn't the first year was like the longest year ever, and the last 29 after that have been like a whirlwind. I've been able to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do, And I have adult children now that have never seen me drunk or sober. My twins don't even remember me smoking cigarettes now. So God is like the everyday part of my life now. Yeah, it's my everything, my reason for doing stuff like this to gets me out of my self-imposed hell. Yeah, hello, my broken friend. I've been waiting for you. Here's a not-so-secret secret. I'm broken too. You don't have to walk that road alone. I've been there too. And together, I want you to know that I love you, God loves you, and that you don't have to stay there. It's a journey that we get stuck in. We don't have to stay in that pit by ourselves alone. There's hope to be had and hope for you. Put out your hand and somebody will take it. Somebody will lead you on the path to a better life, a better way, and better days.